we have $1,000 invested at 8% annual interest compounded annually, just reviewing what we did in my class last week, okay? We want to calculate the principal after 1, 2, and 3 years. Well, at the end of the first year, we'd have 1,000, and our interest would be 8% of 1,000, okay? Now, that's 1,000 plus $80, $1,080. Then we could go to the second year, and we do 8% of 1,080 and add it to the 1,080, right? And then in the third year, we take whatever we get after the second year, take 8% of it, and add it to what we had at the beginning of the second year. And then that's what we have at the beginning of the third year at the end, okay? Or at the end of the third year, sorry. Okay? Now, make the point that if you multiply if you add $1,000 to 8% of $1,000, it's the same as multiplying $1,000 times 1. And maybe I should have written this out the way I did in class, although I'm kind of reviewing here. So, but it's easy to see if I write it out this way. $1,000 times 1 plus 0.08. No, just brought a really good piece of chalk that I don't want to step on.
Right there.
How'd it get over there? Good heavens. Okay. Worked out yesterday, I'm even slower than usual. Okay. So, and that's $1,000 times 1.08, right? This tells you that every year you can just multiply by 1.08. It's the same as adding 8%, because whatever the number is, doesn't have to be $1,000. Anything you add to 8% of itself is going to be 1.08 times itself, okay? So we do this, multiplying by 1.08 is the same as adding 8%. So after 1 year, we want to add 8%, we just multiply 1,000 by 1.08. After 2 years, we take, and we call that P of 1, principal after 1 year, okay? Then principal after 2 years, we multiply this by 1.08, and we get it. Now, I write this not as 1,080, I write it as 1,000 times 1.08, which is the same thing. So I can see that I've got now 2 1.08s in there, okay? So I see that I've got 1,000 times 1.08 squared. Then I multiply that, which is my P of 2, by 1.08, and I get P of 3, which is 1,000 times 1.08, now cubed. Every year, I multiply by 1.08. So after T years, or at the end of the Tth year, we'd have $1,000 times 1.08 raised to the T power, okay? Now, that's a lot better than just adding 8% of $1,000 every year, okay? If we just add 80, because then they would just be adding $80 every year. Well, since our principal is going up, the amount that gets added goes up. If we compound this interest, okay, twice a year, okay? So, we add 4% to the existing principal. Twice each year. Once after 6 months and once at the end of the year. Okay? So what do we have then? Well, we multiply by 1.04 twice each year. Okay? So that after the first half of a year, I'm going to make a table here. I've got T, and I've got P of 2. T's in years. Now, at half a year, what's my P of T going to be? It's going to be $1,000 times 1.04, right? And that turns out to be $1,040. After 1 year, well, another half year has gone by, we're getting 4%, half of our 8%, twice a year. I get to multiply my principal from the first year, from the first half year, by 1.04. Okay? And of course, that's $1,000 times 1.04 squared. And that turns out to be, I think, $1,081.60. So by compounding my interest twice in the year, I made a whole $1.60 that I wouldn't have made otherwise. Now, it doesn't seem like a really huge difference, and it isn't, but the way interest grows exponentially, after a period of time, it makes a big difference. Okay? So after, I'll go ahead and use decimals, after 1.5 years, what are we going to have? It's going to be 1,000 times 1.04 squared times 1.04. Times 1.04 cubed. After 2 years, we can see it's going to be $1,000 times 1.04 to the fourth. Etc. So we can kind of put an end to that process because we keep writing that forever and not learn a whole lot more than we already know. But what we can do now is we can say that, okay, P of 1 is $1,000 times 1.04 squared. Now I could write P of 1/2 and P of 1.5. I've already done that. I mean, I haven't written it out with the P notation. Okay? P of 2 okay? Now what's the pattern here? See if you can write out what P of 3 is. And see if you can write out what P of T is.